से जुड़ी किसी भी छोटी या बड़ी अपडेट के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें स्पोर्ट्स तक और साथ ही किसी भी नोटिफिकेशन को पाने के लिए बेल आइकन को दबाना ना भूलें।
To be done, but yeah, what's the feeling after getting yourself into this position in the match?
The feeling's good. Probably pretty excited to come back tomorrow. As you said, there's still a bit of work to be done. So 5 wickets tomorrow. We just got to stay disciplined and patient. And there's obviously enough there in the wicket. Just got to hit the right areas. And yeah, 5 wickets is what we need.
What did you make of some of the banter on the field today between Tim and some of the Indian players?
I think it was all good fun. It's quite competitive out there, as you know, and there's going to be words from time to time, but it was all good spirit, I think.
Josh, just with some of Virat's behaviour in the game, is there any frustration at all, given the standards that the Australian team's being judged by now after what happened earlier in the year, that perhaps there's others who are on a bit of a longer leash?
Oh, I don't think we read too much into it, to be honest. We go about our work how we see fit, and the Indians can do what they like. We control what we can control, and our behaviour is obviously what we control. So we'll worry about that, and we'll let everything else take care of itself.
Explain to us, who don't understand a lot as a bowler, why that pitch does sort of seems to behave in patches where the ball flies around and blokes can't lay a bat on it, then accomplished tail-enders can come in and score quite easily?
I wouldn't say quite easily. It's a strange one. You see obviously patches where it's flying around and hitting the cracks, and then it'll go for a period, it'll go pretty quiet and it looks manageable to bat. So I think definitely right armers around the wicket to left-handed batters there's more cracks on offer. It looks, or when I feel I'm bowling to all the right-handers, it feels a little bit more like a normal wicket. There's not as many cracks there or up and down, but as you said, it's from time to time it jumps around and then it can calm down. So the morning sessions seem like they're a little bit better for batting. I'm not sure why, but and then as the day goes on, I think the cracks might reappear, or it's an interesting one with the drop-in wicket as well. So not too sure.
Josh, do you think there's too much of focus on Virat Kohli as far as Australia is concerned? Like, you get Kohli and get India. Is that the kind of approach Australia is looking at? No,
definitely not. I probably see Pujara as the big wicket as far as when I'm bowling. He's one who can really, I guess, the glue that holds them together. I think he's batted the most balls this series, I think, and probably scored nearly the most runs. So I see him as a big wicket, and Rahane as well. So the 3, 4, 5 are probably the key wickets, and we see a little bit of unstable, I guess, in the other parts of the order. So there's certainly not all the focus is on Virat.
Josh, the foundation was laid in the first couple of hours today, not losing a wicket. You talk a little bit about the faith and support that you guys give Usman as the senior player in the side, and how much belief you have that he can lead you to match-winning titles. Yeah, absolutely. I think with Steve and Dave not here, then a bit more pressure falls on Usman. I think he's the most capped batsman maybe with Sean Marsh. So experience counts for a lot in these situations. There's quite a lot of young guys in the order, in the top 6. So I think Usman sort of felt that responsibility a bit more this season, and I think he's obviously been struggling in the first couple of innings, but to see him fight on today was made everyone a bit more relaxed, I think. Dan?
Josh, just purely in terms of bowling plans and the way that you've been able to bowl to Virat over the course of the series, I know you made a very good 100 in the first innings, but do you feel like you've been vindicated in the ways that you've been able to get him out at times, that if you do what you're trying to do consistently, and even the way Nathan bowled to him tonight, you can get him as you were hoping to? Yeah,
absolutely. I think we've obviously got our plans, and we feel if we can do those plans the majority of the time, that we can get his wicket. We can definitely dry the runs up, and I think the way Nathan's bowling, especially, both sides of the bat this test, to all their batters. So he's been phenomenal. But I think when we stray from that plan, then he's good enough to score the runs. So it's just about discipline on those plans that we've talked about, and came prepared, and putting them into action.
And just in terms of the pitch relative to, I suppose, what you'd experienced at the Wacker, and you mentioned drop-in pitches. I mean, is it sort of unlike any other drop-in that you've played on?
Yeah, you could say that, definitely. Yeah, I think if you're comparing it to the whacker, whereas it's obviously not a drop in the whacker and the cracks just get bigger and bigger, these have sort of appeared pretty early and I guess haven't widened too much, if that makes sense. So, yeah, it's definitely different.
I guess I was sort of going to ask a similar thing, but is it fun then? Is it enjoyable to play on? Do you think it's a good test wicket?
Yeah, I think so. That's from a bowler's point of view, definitely. But we've seen hundreds as well, and quite a few guys getting 50s. So, and it's obviously gone to the fifth day. So there's plenty there, and I think it's exciting that things can happen at any stage throughout the day, and it's pretty competitive with bat and ball.
And just also considering how much disappointment there's been and how difficult a period it's been since Newlands, what does it feel to be able to get yourself into a position like this in a test at home, particularly after that first loss?
Yeah, I guess, last week was obviously a little bit different, but it feels as though I've obviously didn't go to the UAE. So it's been a bit of a long time between wins, but as I said, there's still a lot of work to do tomorrow. But I think any time I'm playing in Australia with the Australian cricket team, we feel pretty confident. Especially the bowlers feel very confident in getting 20 wickets and getting a result. As we saw last year, we got home 4 times out of 5, so we're feeling pretty confident. Just putting that into practice, I guess, more often than not this summer.
You talked a bit about Tim's chat before, but what about just his leadership and I suppose composure with the bat and even just sort of in the field?
Yeah, I think he keeps things quite calm and composed, as you mentioned, and he doesn't get too flustered at any stages really, and you could see that with the bat today, the way he batted, and he was pretty unlucky to get that one today, and in the field he leads very well, I think, as you said, nice and calm.
Josh, can you just take us out in the middle between you and Mitch in that last wicket partnership, what you guys were talking about?
If we saw any width or it was nice and full, we're swinging pretty hard. We knew that obviously the cracks were there, and Paddy got one that rolled, and Nath got a couple that jumped. So it was just about trying to score runs as probably quickly as we could. We knew it was going to be nice to bowl on once we got the new ball in hand, and we managed to get a few together, which was fun, and frustrate the Indian team a bit longer. So it was quite fun out there at stages.
Josh, just elaborating on Tim a little bit. I mean, he came into the captaincy in such unusual circumstances, and he still is a really new captain. Do you feel like he's elevating his presence, not just within the team, but within cricket as well over recent times? I mean, we saw what happened today. He was so ever present today with the bat and then in the field again. Do you feel like he's really starting to elevate that presence?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's just getting more confident as time goes on, whether it's with the bat or in the field. He's quite an experienced player as far as he's been playing for a long time, and I think he's had a few, time out of the game as well. So he knows himself quite well, just not as a cricketer but as a person. So off the field he's great to talk to about, I guess, life as well, and obviously the cricket side takes care of itself. So he's been really great.
Josh, just with the verbals, just with the amount of scrutiny you guys are under, do you feel the opposition sees it as an opportunity to push your buttons and you will not retaliate?
No, I don't think so. I think at stages in a game it's going to get a little bit heated from time to time between bat and ball, but I think we're pretty confident that we can hold that line that we've, I guess, talked about as a group, as a team. So I don't feel that's the case, no.
Most of these verbals, are these like an organic reaction to the heat of the moment, or is it a considered ploy to distract the batsmen and get under their skins?
I think it's more in the heat of the moment. It's definitely not a ploy to attack any batsman at any stage. It's more of a heat of the battle, and but I think it's been really good so far. Just some good banter out in the middle between both sides.
There's been no personal abuse.
No.
Thanks very much.